Switch.
Yes.
Can you see my video just now?
I can see it, but it's not playing right now.
Okay, let me explain.
Oke, selamat pagi anak-anak semuanya. Selama sesi berlangsung, Mister berharap kalian semua untuk menyalakan video kalian ya dengan menggunakan virtual background yang sesuai ketentuan. Mister harap kalian untuk mute terlebih dahulu selama sesi presentasi. Nanti di akhir akan ada sesi tanya jawab. Kalian bisa raise hand atau chat in Zoom chat box. Oke, untuk Toronto University, the time is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anna?
Oke, selamat pagi teman-teman semuanya. Terima kasih sudah bergabung dengan sesi di pagi hari ini. Perkenalkan, nama saya Ena. Saya perwakilan dari Universal Services. Nah, buat teman-teman mungkin sudah ada beberapa yang sudah pernah kenal dengan kami. Nah, buat teman-teman yang lainnya yang mungkin sudah kenal dengan kami, sebentar saya akan share satu video tentang Universal supaya kalian semua lebih tahu apa sih itu Universal.
With over 21 years of experience, Universal has grown to become one of the leading education companies in Indonesia. Universal continues to expand its networks by collaborating with hundreds of world-class education providers. Universal's services are not only limited to education counseling, but also to assist them achieving their dreams and their career pathways in order to bring them closer to their goal and even higher. Therefore, Universal also provides our students with exclusive services such as boot camp, summer camp, seminar, workshop, as well as study trip.
Universal, your education solution partner.
Oke, jadi itu adalah sedikit perkenalan dari kami Universal. So, Universal sudah ada dari tahun 1998, jadi udah 22 tahun lebih kami ada di bidang ini. Jadi sudah banyak sekali kakak-kakak kelas kalian yang terbantu dengan kami. Jadi ada banyak sekali teman-teman kalian yang sudah melanjutkan studi ke luar negerinya dengan bantuan dari Universal. Jadi feel free anytime kalau kalian mau pertanyaan untuk kalian menghubungi kami dari Universal. Nanti di akhir sesi saya akan bagikan kontak dari Universal. Nah, di pagi hari ini we are so privileged, kita sangat beruntung karena kita akan ditemani oleh teman baik saya jauh sekali, ada dari Kanada, dari University of Toronto, number one university in Canada. So we as Universal are very privileged karena kami adalah satu-satunya representatif dari University of Toronto di seluruh dunia. So if you have any questions later on, kalian bisa drop questionnya. Sebentar saya akan ganti nama saya dengan Q&A Center untuk memudahkan kalian. Jadi kalian bisa chat ke Q&A Center untuk semua pertanyaan kalian. Nanti kami akan bantu untuk memberikan jawabannya di sesi Q&A. Nah, buat kalian penanya pertama, 5 penanya pertama, you guys might get a very good voucher dari Test Coach by MSc. Jadi nanti kalian bisa dapatkan vouchernya dari Test Coach untuk kalian bisa placement test untuk IELTS atau TOEFL, dan juga ada potongan untuk kalau kalian kursus bahasa Inggris di sana. Oke, jadi jangan sampai ketinggalan. Buat yang mau bertanya, cepet-cepet nanti silahkan di chat di Q&A Center. Oke, nah sebelum kita mulai sesi pagi hari ini, saya juga mau ingatkan sekali lagi, nanti dari University of Toronto akan ada attendance, jadi tolong diisi attendance-nya, supaya jikalau kami ada info menarik tentang University of Toronto, kami bisa sharekan ke kalian semua. Link untuk attendance saya akan chatkan di chat box sebentar lagi. So, without further ado, I will pass this session to my best friend, Sage. Time is yours, Sage.
Thank you. I miss you lots too, Anna. Thank you so much. Just let me share this screen very quickly. Selamat pagi. Saya harap Anda semua sehat dan tetap aman. Nama saya Sage dan saya dari University of Toronto. So that is all the bahasa I know how to remember how to say. So I hope all of you will be okay with me doing the presentation in English today. So I know all of you have been receiving a lot of information from other institutions, and it might be a jumble of info. So I want to make it as easy as possible for all of you to learn about U of T today. There are three main takeaway points. So as long as you remember these three takeaways, you should be good. So without further ado, the first takeaway point for the University of Toronto is, as Anna mentioned, we are Canada's #1 university. We are the top ranked university, not just overall, but also for research in Canada. We are currently ranked number 18 in the world, and we have never historically dropped past top 25. So that means when you come to U of T, you will be getting some of the best education available in the world. Now, the second takeaway is that the University of Toronto is a network of unique communities in the heart of one of the most dynamic regions in the world. What does that mean? So firstly, the University of Toronto is located in the city of Toronto, which is considered one of the world's most livable regions. We are an extremely international, very global community, and this is illustrated directly in the number of languages we speak. Over 50% of people living in Toronto were born outside of Canada. We speak over 180 different languages in this city. Walking down the street, you'll hear English, French, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, everything. You will be also able to meet people from all over the world. In the city, as you can see in this photo right here, it's quite big, quite sprawling, but we're also a cultural capital. We have a lot of festivals celebrating different backgrounds, different cultures, different foods. You will never feel homesick because of food, because in Toronto, we not only have restaurants from all over the world, you can eat at different restaurants every single day and still not make a dent in it after like 2 months, but also I know some parents and students that are like, should I pack Indomie in my suitcase and bring it over to Toronto? The answer is no. You can buy Indomie at every single grocery store you find here. I have my personal kitchen. All the different flavors of Indomie is stocked up recently. So it's very easy, very convenient. You not only will be able to make friends all over the world, but also connect with Indonesian students from your hometown. Now, smack in the middle of downtown Toronto is our founding campus, St. George. We were established in 1827. And in the last 200 years, not only have we become Canada's #1 university, we are Canada's largest university. So in addition to the downtown campus, we have 2 other campuses. So if you drive about 45 minutes to the west of Toronto, you will find yourself in Mississauga, which is where our Mississauga campus is located. If you drive about 45 minutes to the east of Toronto, you will find yourself in Scarborough, which is where our UTSC campus is located. All 3 campuses put together, we have 90,000 students, which is very significant. We're like a small city on our own, but out of the 90,000, over 18,000 are international students from over 130 different countries and regions. So again, very, very diverse, very international. Now, one thing to remember about the University of Toronto is even though we have 3 campuses, all of them are U of T. You will graduate with the exact same University of Toronto degree. The only difference is, firstly, like I mentioned, location. One's in the heart of downtown Toronto, one is to the east, one is to the west. The second difference is size. So the St. George campus, because it is our founding campus, it also has the largest student population. So we have over 35,000 students on the downtown campus alone. Mississauga and Scarborough are what we call mid-sized campuses. So Mississauga has approximately 15,000 students. Scarborough has approximately 14,000 students. And last but not least, all three campuses, again, all of them are U of T. You will graduate with the exact same degree, but they offer different programs, which I'm going to cover in a little bit. Now, when you apply to the University of Toronto, you will be applying to one of 5 major academic communities. We have our arts, business, and science, engineering, architecture and visual studies, kinesiology, which is the study of human motion and physical education, as well as music. So I'm going to focus a little bit on arts and science right now. So if you are interested in arts, business, or science, these programs are offered on all 3 of our campuses. Mississauga and Scarborough, every single program is either arts, business, or science related. But if you are applying to the downtown campus, you will have to apply to the Faculty of Arts and Science at the St. George campus. Now, this particular faculty at the St. George campus is the largest of its kind in North America, with over 27,000 undergraduate students. So obviously that's a lot, right? So we will further break you down into even smaller communities called colleges. So if you are a Faculty of Arts and Science student at the downtown campus, you will need to choose a college. Your college has absolutely nothing to do with what you are studying. So every single college will have students in science. Every single college will have students in humanities. Every single college will have students in business. But as you can see from this map on the slide, the colleges are located on different points on campus. From the photos, you can also see that the colleges look entirely different. They were built at different times. They have different history. They have different traditions. But the most important thing to remember is all of the colleges offer the same services. So every single one of the colleges offer registrarial services. So services teaching you how to select your courses, helping you find your future path. If you have any sort of trouble, if you are feeling homesick, if you need advice on what you need to do in order to increase your grades, so on and so forth, we do have one-on-one advising at every single one of the colleges as well. Your college will be like your home base, so like your home away from home. There will be students, again, from every single program. You will go out every single day, take your classes, and then come back to your college. This is also where your residence will be if you plan on staying in residence. This is also where the different student clubs will be for your community. You'll be able to do different festivals, like, for example, like cultural celebrations. You'll be able to do like fashion shows, so on and so forth. And that's all within that college community. So again, when you're applying to U of T, you're first looking at the program, which campus you're going to, and then if you're part of the Faculty of Arts and Science, because it's so big, you are looking at your college. Now, we also know that this past year has been really, really challenging for a lot of students. COVID has kind of thrown a monkey wrench into everyone's plans, and the university wants to make sure that all of you know clearly what the university is doing to keep our students, our faculty, our staff safe, what we are doing to support you in your academic process, what we are doing to support your application to U of T. So make sure to check out this website, utoronto.ca/utogether, and then that will give you all the information you need about what U of T is doing in response to COVID-19. Now, the third takeaway point for the University of Toronto is that U of T students can mix and match programs and experiences to build your own personalized degree. No 2 students at U of T will have the exact same experience, and that is because of the sheer number of programs that we offer. We offer over 700 undergraduate programs at the University of Toronto, which translates to over 10,000 different courses that you can take. You can be at U of T for the rest of your life and not make a dent in that. So that gives you a lot of choice, right? You can mix and match different things, see what you're interested in. Now, I know this might sound a little bit overwhelming, so I'm going to break it down for you just a little bit. Like I mentioned, arts, business, and science programs are available on all 3 campuses. Same high quality of education, same degree. Now, certain programs are offered on all three campuses. Like, for example, if you are interested in the arts, if you want to do literature, if you want to do English, all of those are on all three campuses. But certain programs are what we call unique programs. These are programs that are specific to one single campus that you cannot find on the other two. So for example, let's just say you want to do communications, culture, and information technology. This particular program, CCIT, is only available on our Mississauga campus. If you want to do arts management, for example, curatorial studies, work for, like arts galleries in the future, you want to go to Scarborough because that is the only campus that offers arts management. If you want to study a language though, if you want to do German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Greek, we have over 50 different international languages only available on the downtown St. George campus. Similarly, for business, we offer great business programs on all three campuses. We highly recommend apply to all three campuses for business. But Rotman Commerce is a branded business school that is only available on the downtown campus. It also ranks #1 for MBA in Canada. So there's a lot of shared resources, excellent professors, and that is only available on the downtown campus. We also have sciences, as I mentioned. So general sciences like biology, like chemistry, physics, all of those are available on all three campuses. Again, apply to all three. It maximizes your chances of getting into the program you want, but certain programs are only available on specific campuses. For example, if you want to do biomedical communication, which is illustrating different biomedical illustrations, different kind of textbook illustrations, for example, producing publications for biomedicine, all of that is at Mississauga. But if you want to do something like mental health studies, that is only available on Scarborough. But if you want to study a unique program like actuarial sciences, if you wanted to medical related sciences like human biology, physiology, toxicology, pharmacology, those are only available on the downtown campus. Okay, so my suggestion is later on, I'm going to be sharing a link called the IUAB. It's the International Undergraduate Admissions Bulletin, and this will list out all the programs across all three campuses. Print that out, grab a highlighter, and then highlight the programs you want. If the program you want is on all three campuses, apply to all three. If the program you want is only available on one campus, apply directly to that campus. Okay. All right. Next, we have engineering. So our Faculty of Engineering is not just the largest Faculty of Engineering in Canada, we are also the #1 ranked engineering faculty in Canada. So that again means a lot of resources, connection with top university professors all across the world, a lot of research. So when you're applying to the Faculty of Engineering, you will have a choice of what we call the core 8. These are 8 major types of engineering, including chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering, industrial engineering, materials engineering, mechanical engineering, and mineral engineering. So if you know exactly what type of engineering you want, apply directly to that stream. Now, there are some students that are like, I'm not sure what I want, right? If you're interested in chemical engineering, you're like, I want to know what mechanical engineering is like. You can apply to what we call a general first year. We call it track 1. So in track 1, in your first year, you will study all 8 types of engineering, test everything out, and then at the end of your first year, you then decide which one you want to specialize in. Last but not least, we also have engineering science. So engineering science is an enriched engineering program that gives you 2 years of really intense, high-level, multidisciplinary engineering, such as theoretical calculus, theoretical chemistry, theoretical physics. Once you build those 2 years of knowledge, you will then specialize in areas such as aerospace engineering. If you want to work on the new SpaceX, if you want to work for NASA in the future, you want to go into aerospace. If you want to do robotics, if you want to do mechanical and machine intelligence, AI, if you want to do biomedical systems engineering, all of that falls under engineering science. So again, 3 different branches, core 8, track 1, and engineering science for the Faculty of Engineering. Now, Engineering is only located on our downtown campus because it is what we call a professional faculty. And also at the St. George campus only are our other 3 professional faculties, including architecture and visual studies, kinesiology and physical education, as well as music. So these 3 faculties are the smallest of their kind at U of T. And what that means is very, very tight-knit communities. You'll be able to do design thinking classes and architecture and visual studies. For kinesiology, you'll be able to do practicums, take what you're learning in the classroom and apply them to the field. And then for music, you have guaranteed one-on-one time with your professors on a weekly basis, as well as opportunities to perform in ensembles. So these are great faculties if you're interested in smaller faculties that kind of personalized experience only on the downtown campus. So another great thing about U of T is the University of Toronto is ranked #1, not just because of our fantastic academics. We're very, very dedicated to our students' future. A lot of students are always asking us, Miss, if I study this, what's my career going to be like? What jobs will I get in the future? And U of T is dedicated to making sure you have that experience during your studies. So for many of our subjects, such as arts and science programs, business, computer science, engineering, all of them offer co-op and professional experience year co-op. So starting in your second year or even in your third year, you can start going through these workshops. We will teach you how to interview, how to submit your resumes, how to write cover letters, so on and so forth. And then you can actually participate in 12, 16, 20 months of paid internship at Fortune 500 companies, build that experience, build that resume. And then once you're done with that experience, you then come back to U of T and finish your 4th and final year. So it's a really great way for you to study, for you to build experience, earn money, and successfully graduate from the University of Toronto. On average, students in PEY will earn about approximately 60,000 Canadian dollars during their placement. And the highest income that a student has made is over 100,000 Canadian dollars during their placement. So it's pretty significant. It's very, very rewarding. And a lot of these companies will actually hire students after they graduate. So you already have a job lined up for you after you graduate, which is, again, very, very beneficial. The numbers speak for themselves. Within 6 months of graduation, 86% of students have full-time jobs. If they graduate from U of T, if they've participated in these career-oriented workshops, these practicums, these volunteer opportunities, internships, externships. Within 2 years of graduation, that number spikes to 94% full-time employment. So within 2 years of graduation, 94% of all of our students full-time employed. So very, very significant numbers, and that directly reflects the resources we give our students. We are also an extremely connected university. Because we are top ranked, this means that we have partnerships all over the world. We have partnerships with over 140 and growing institutions all around the world. So let's just say in your second year, you want to go to another university to gain your experience. You can do that. We have partnerships with Tokyo University. We have partnerships with Osaka University, Tsinghua University. If you want to go to the University of Singapore, Cambridge, Oxford, Johns Hopkins in the States, we have tons and tons of these opportunities. You can go to another institution, study there for half a year, 1 year, while earning your U of T degree. And also outside of the classroom, we have hundreds of student clubs, over 800 of them for you to choose from. If you have thought about a club before, chances are we have it. We even have a sandwich club where all the students check out different types of sandwiches and look into the history of the different sandwiches, where they come from. They have tastings. We have a lettuce club. So there is actually a club in engineering dedicated to different types of lettuce, and everything is lettuce themed, and it's hilarious and it's a lot of fun. When I was a student, long time ago, I was part of the Kendo club, which was Japanese fencing, but also I did a lot of League of Legends and Dota playing. So I was part of those teams as well. So again, very, very great ways for you to participate, be involved. We have tons of sports, 24 varsity teams, but also hundreds of different intramural teams. We have the largest intramural team in Canada for different sports. So if you're interested in that, definitely check us out. So joining U of T, hopefully all of you are a little bit interested now in the University of Toronto. So application to U of T is very straightforward. It is a two-step process. That's all you need to remember. So all of you are grade 12. This year, in end of September, early October, you will start your application process. If you are interested in applying to U of T, step one is to submit your application. So all the students in St. Louis has two options. The first one is to apply using the OUAC 105 application. This is for students who want to apply to U of T plus other universities in Ontario. So if you're planning to apply to more than one university, use the OUAC 105. If you are only planning on applying to U of T, yay, you will use the U of T international application, which will give you a little bit of a discount. So the OUAC application and the U of T international application is literally just a registration form. It's like, hello, I want to apply to U of T, please and thank you. So you just fill it out. It takes like 25 minutes maximum. Name, contact information, what universities you want, what programs you want. Do you want residence, yes or no? Done. That's it. So when you are filling out the OUAC application, when you are selecting U of T, remember, we have 3 campuses, but in total, we actually have 7 major areas you can apply to. So there's engineering, architecture, arts and science, kinesiology and physical education, music, Mississauga, and Scarborough. So 7 choices, all right? Now, under each choice, there's a whole bunch of different programs you can choose from. So the way it works is on the OUAC, you can choose 1 choice per white highlighted bubble up to a maximum of 3 choices. So I know some students are like, oh my goodness, I can't make heads or tails of this slide. This is too much. What should I do? Let me try to simplify it for you. Let's just say you are interested in computer science. So computer science is available on all 3 of our campuses. Computer science under the Faculty of Arts and Science at St. George, computer science at Mississauga, and computer science at Scarborough. So you'll notice that each highlighted bubble for computer science is 1 under each major bubble for a maximum of 3 choices. We will consider all 3 at the same time, and you might even get offers for all 3 at the same time. Then you choose which campus do I want to go to. Another example of this is if you are interested in engineering. So you will apply for engineering as one of your choices, but then there's 2 choices left. So you could actually mix and match. You can apply for architectural studies under architecture, landscape, and design, and you can also add physical education. Again, 1 choice under each highlighted bubble, 3 maximum. We will consider all 3 at the same time. You might even get offers for all 3, and then you decide which subject you want to pursue. So one thing to note is, I'll use another example. Under each highlighted bubble, you can only choose 1 program. So if you are interested in arts and science, I'm going to go back to the previous slide. If you select computer science, you cannot apply for Rotman Commerce at the same time because both of them fall under the arts and science bubble. You can only choose 1 under each category, up to a maximum of 3 choices. Does that make sense to everyone? Great. All right. So also just another quick reminder, under arts and science, if you are applying to the Faculty of Arts and Science, you will also need to choose a college. There are 7 colleges for you to choose from. Has nothing to do with what you're studying, has everything to do with location, history, residence. So step 2, once you submit your OUAC application, within 1 to 2 weeks, we will send you an email saying, thank you so much for applying to U of T. We will give you access to join U of T. This is your personal platform where you can upload all of your required documents. So this is the main point. You want to get to this step as soon as possible. The first time you log into your Join U of T account, it will ask you, what high school system are you part of? For all of you, please select Indonesia, because Indonesia is for the ijazah. Once you select that, it will give you a list of all your required documents. All you have to do is collect the documents, scan them in, upload them, and you're done. It's that simple. Because this is your personal platform, everyone's will be slightly different depending on the program, the campus, what you are applying to. So please do not look at your friend and say, what's that? What does yours say? Focus on your personal platform. And then this is also how the university will communicate with you if we need information from you, if we need additional documents, so on and so forth. Make sure to check your Join account at least once a week for updates. Also, on your Join U of T account, this is where you will apply for residence. So make sure you are applying for residence as soon as possible. It's always better to apply for residence first and give up that spot later on, because residence is extremely popular at the University of Toronto. So for the most part, usually the University of Toronto will only ask you for your academic performance. That's all we care about. But for some programs, we will ask you for a supplementary application. So if the program you applied to does require a supplementary application, it will be listed in your document list. It'll show up as a link. You just click it. It'll take you to the supplementary application, and all you have to do is follow the instructions. For the most part, most of these supplementary applications will be short answer questions. So there's just a series of questions they'll ask you, you just fill out the answers, and you're done. Rotman Commerce and Engineering on the St. George campus is a little bit more complicated. There is a short answer section as well as a video section. So the short answer, again, the questions are going to be like, why do you want to study business? Why do you want to study engineering? Where do you see yourself in 15 years? How are you a leader? So on and so forth. The video component is timed. So when you press start, it will give you a question. It'll pop out, and then you read the question, think about it for about a minute, and then you will have to record an answer directly to your computer camera. And then once time runs out, it'll shut down, it'll send out, done. So that is kind of like an interview. It's not with a live person, but you will have to be prepared for it. Make sure you are not in your pajamas. Make sure your room is clean, and make sure to talk to mom and dad, because we have seen videos before where the student is replying to the video. Suddenly mom comes in from behind saying, what are you doing? It's time for dinner. I've been calling you for 15 minutes. And what? One-time chance. So do be careful. Be prepared for it, but I'm sure all of you will be fine. Now, for most of you, we will probably be asking you for proof of English language facility. So most of the scores that we see coming from Indonesia include IELTS, TOEFL, and Duolingo. So for direct admissions, IELTS, we are looking for 6.5, no band lower than 6. TOEFL is 122 on writing. Duolingo is 120 overall. And we will want to see the sub-score results as well. So one thing to note, the moment you hit any of these scores, you're good. We will never look at it again. So sometimes some students will be like, Miss, if I get a 7.5, will that make me more competitive if I get 7.5 in IELTS? The answer is no, because the moment you get 6.5 in IELTS, we have a check mark. We're done. We will never look at that again. We're focusing on your academic grades. So again, if you are submitting your English facility, as soon as you meet this, you're good. Now, for those of you that don't meet English proficiency requirement, that's okay. We do have conditional acceptance on all 3 of our campuses. Mississauga and Scarborough will automatically consider students if their English is lower. For St. George, you will have to apply to the IFP, which will consider you with lower English scores. So if you are applying to the IFP, we are looking for IELTS 5.0 to 6.5, no band lower than 5, writing 5.5, TOEFL 63 and above with minimum 16 on writing, and Duolingo of 90 and above. So just a quick recap, the application for the University of Toronto through the OUAC will become available end of September, early October. please complete the OUAC application as soon as possible, because the earlier you gain access to join U of T, the better it is. Once you gain access to join U of T, please submit all your documents as soon as possible, because if you submit all your documents before November 15, we will guarantee that we will consider you for the first round of admission that will take place this year sometime in January. So that will be the first round. If you don't get in, we will automatically move you to the second round. If you don't get in there, we'll automatically move you to the third round, so on and so forth. So there is a benefit to applying early. Not only will you have more time to prepare your documents, we will also consider you for more rounds, just in case. So that maximizes your chances of getting into U of T, more rounds of consideration. And please remember to follow all the deadlines that are published on our website that you see on the bottom left-hand corner. So just to recap what we are looking for, if you are applying from the Indonesian national system, we are looking for your ijazah, but we know when you are applying in late September, early October, you don't have your ijazah yet. That's okay. We are looking for your most up-to-date high school transcript. So grade 10, grade 11, and whatever courses you are currently taking in your grade 12. So if you do have midterm or interim scores available, please do submit them. And we also want to see your grading scale on your high school transcript. Now, you'll notice on the slide, it says prerequisite courses in your final year. Later on, when I share the brochure with you, the International Undergraduate Admissions Bulletin, it will list out all the different programs available at U of T. And next to each program, there are mandatory courses that we are looking for. But they will be different depending on what you are applying to. So for example, if you're applying to engineering, we are looking for grade 12 calculus, so calculus equivalent math, physics, and chemistry. If you're applying to biology, it'll be entirely different. It'll be calculus, biochemistry. If you're applying to computer science, we're focusing on calculus only. If you are applying to English language and literature, we don't need anything other than English. So what we are looking for are those mandatory prerequisites, if you have them, if you need them, and also your overall GPA. The higher your scores, the more competitive you will be. Now, this is very important. We are a Canadian university. Please, 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 please do not send in any reference letters or personal statements. We don't want them. We don't need them. We will not look at them. Please do not submit any documents that we don't ask for, because the only thing that happens is it will extend the amount of time needed to review your application by 6 to 8 weeks, which is not helpful for any of us. So please keep this in mind. We are focusing on your high school grades, very straightforward, transcript, GPA, ijazah. Now make sure, if your transcript is only in Bahasa, make sure it is translated into English and notarized, and both copies submitted to U of T. All right, so some students ask us scholarships. All U of T applicants are automatically considered for scholarships, so you don't need to fill out anything. We will just make a decision whether or not we will give you a scholarship based on your grades. The higher your grades, the more likely you will get admission scholarship. These scholarship amounts go from a few thousand all the way to 15,000, 25,000, 35,000, 40,000 plus. So again, depending on the campus that you're applying to, programs that you're applying to, what your grades are, you will have different scholarships, and that will be given to you and told to you when you are admitted to U of T. Now, there is one very special scholarship called the Lester B. Pearson International Scholarship. So every single school every year can nominate one student to the Lester B. Pearson. Once that student is nominated, the student will receive a separate application for the Pearson Scholarship that you'll have to complete. If you get selected for the scholarship, you will receive 4 years full tuition covered, all residence covered, all textbooks and learning materials covered for 4 years. It's very, very significant large, prestigious scholarship. We only give out about 42 of these every single year. So remember to talk to your counselor, talk to your school. Each school can nominate one student per year to the Pearson Scholarship. If you want to learn more about the different scholarships that we offer, do check out the Award Explorer. So it is a search tool that you can use to check out the different options available, awardexplorer.utoronto.ca. So some final tips, please remember to, again, apply early as soon as the OUAC application is available end of September. Check that out. Send in your application as soon as possible. Gain access to join U of T as soon as possible, and submit all your documents as soon as possible. Make sure to check your email and log in to join regularly, because that is how the university communicates with you. You can even book a virtual tour with us through discover.utoronto.ca. So I'm going to put the link into the chat. So you can check out our online tours for our campuses and keep in touch with us. So I'm also going to ask, actually, I can put that into the chat right here. Oh, yes. Anna put in the form, the Google form. So if you don't mind filling that out for us, we would greatly appreciate it. That essentially ensures that we'll be able to give you more information about the university, keep in touch with you. And also make sure to apply for your residence before March 31st. Again, it is always better to apply for residence first and give up the space later on, because if you wait until after the deadline, chances are you won't be getting residence space, because our residence is very, very popular. And keep working hard, maintain your grades, because U of T is a merit-based university. We are focusing on your academic performance, okay? Now, we do have a great pre-university program for those of you that are interested in the University of Toronto, curious about how U of T works. It is a 10-week program running every single Saturday for 2 hours every Saturday. It will not impact your regular school, so please relax about that. It's totally okay. But this will give you a taste of what it's like to be a U of T student, doing U of T research, doing public presentations, seeing what the course structure is like. So this is a great program for students that are interested in social sciences, health systems, health and industry. If you want to do medicine in the future, this is a great way for you to learn about how large global events such as pandemics impact different governments, different countries. How does vaccine development work? So at the beginning of this program, you will be given a large global health related challenge, and you will spend the next 10 weeks delving into this challenge, trying to find a real life solution to this, and then present it at the end of 10 weeks to your professor, your peers, as well as guests in the audience. So if you're interested, check out this QR code. You can also contact Anna. Universal, as Anna mentioned, is the one and only official representative for the University of Toronto based in Indonesia. So Universal is very, very well versed in everything U of T related. We've been friends for like 5+ years now, Anna. We've been working together for over 5 years now. So anything that you want to learn about U of T application process, pre-university programs such as the Perspectives on Global Health, and I will have the answers to all of that. So that summarizes my presentation. I'm going to stop the share right now, and I will also share the link to our International Undergraduate Admissions Bulletin, so you all have access to our programs.
Okay, awesome, Sage. Teman-teman bisa bayangin nggak ya, ini yang presentasi ini live dari Kanada, berarti sekarang di Kanada itu jam 11.27 malam. Oke, so just kayaknya 30 menit sebelum tengah malam, dan presentasinya masih super kayak gini ya. Jadi kita semua di sini nggak boleh kalah semangat loh ya, dengan yang di jam 12 malam. I just mentioned to them that you're awesome. Now it's only like 30 minutes before your midnight time, and your presentation is still amazing.
Thank you.
Oke, jadi saya mau share screen, mau kasih tahu ke kalian yang tadi saya mention, sudah ada beberapa yang drop questions di chat saya. Ada juga yang mau menanyakannya secara secara langsung. Saya cuma mau memberitahukannya, ini loh voucher yang nanti kalian bisa dapatkan kalau kalian bertanya. Nah, jadi buat kalian yang bertanya, 5 penanya pertama, kalian bisa mendapatkan voucher dari Task Force KMC. Jadi kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan, disiapkan sekarang. Oke. Nah, jadi saya mau siap-siap dengan pertanyaan. Sudah ada yang angkat tangan loh. Oke. Bentar ya. Kita kasih kesempatan buat yang sudah ngecat dulu. Celine, please share your questions.
Hi, Sage. Thank you for the informative presentation. I just wanted to ask several questions regarding the University of Toronto. That's all right with you.
Absolutely. Any questions? So even though I have been at the university a long time, I was a U of T alumni. I am quite old. Literally, I walked into U of T and I never walked out. So that pretty much shows how long I've been with the university, but feel free to ask me anything. School life, background, application, all of that.
Okay. So with the current COVID-19 pandemic, there's a huge possibility of students starting the semester online. So what is online learning at UOT like, and how do international students face the different time zones if they were to study online from another country?
That is a fantastic question. So this past year, U of T, we're actually really proud of this because U of T is one of the few institutions that were able to pivot to a full virtual online delivery system when COVID hit. So we were able to do pretty much a seamless transition over to full virtual and be able to continue to support our students. So we invested like hundreds of thousands of dollars into our virtual infrastructure, including, for example, this doesn't really apply to students in Indonesia, but just to illustrate, a lot of students that are studying in China right now, China has a firewall, and a lot of students were finding issues with like connecting and gaining access to like U of T lectures, so on and so forth. So U of T actually invested in infrastructure to be able to let students log into what we call the Alibaba CEN. So logged into that allows students to gain direct access to the university resources without having to worry about being funneled or choked with like the upload and download speeds, for example. So that's just one thing. And another thing is U of T uses a lot of different approaches to ensure that our international students are able to attend all of the courses, whether or not online, hybrid, in-person, or a mixture of all the above. So for most students that are not able to join us because of COVID-19, because of travel restrictions, so on and so forth, a lot of our courses and programs right now are offered in those 3 modes that I mentioned: online, hybrid, and in person. And for the online and hybrid, a lot of those lectures are not only recorded, they're posted later on so students can also review. They're also what we call like real-time live streamed. So students can check in live if they want to, and then be able to do virtual drop-ins with their professors for office hours to ask questions, connect with their peers, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say that, in fact, virtually, in addition to in-person, even if you were here in person, a lot of students do a mix of in-person plus online to gain access to so many more resources available. So I would say it won't cut back on your personal experience at U of T.
Okay. So my next question is more of a clarification question, because like I heard from a friend and I just wanted to verify if it's true that you have to go to university for 2 years and then work for the next 2 years in a like 2+2 system before getting your degree.
It's not mandatory, no. So at U of T, we are what we call a credit-based university. So what that means is most students will complete 20 credits in order to graduate. What 1 credit is, so if you take 1 course for 1 academic year, that's 8 months, that's 1 credit. If you take 1 course for like 4 months, that's 0.5 credits. So as long as you complete 20 credits, you can graduate. That usually ends up being a student takes 5 credits per year on average, meaning you graduate in 4 years. If you do more, you can graduate faster. Or if you're someone like me that was like, I like taking this, I like taking this, you might end up with 26 credits and graduate in 5 years. So it is really up to you to kind of mix and match, create your own environment. Now, your friend did bring up a really good point, and I kind of touched on it during my presentation earlier, which was practical experience. So if you are planning on doing something like the professional experience year co-op, that does add time to your study. So if you are planning to, do the 12-month internship, if you are planning to do 16 or 20 months, you're going to have to find time during your academic studies to kind of shove that time in. So in some cases, you might do 2 or 3 years of study first, do the professional experience year, and then come back and then finish your 4th and final year. But what we're actually doing, think about it this way. Most students, if you're just studying 4 years, full academics, you can graduate, find a job afterwards, no problem, right? But sometimes in that final year, students are like panicking because they're like, what do I do? What should I like? How should I apply for jobs? I've never done this before. And then there's a lot of stress, right? So what we've done is we've taken all of that and stuck that in the middle so that you are building this experience during your regular studies, so that you are starting to gain that experience during your studies, starting to connect with different companies, so that by the time you graduate, you're like, I already have a job lined up. No problem. These companies know me. I just have to reapply to them or apply to even better jobs. So again, choice is entirely yours. Some students will prefer to do all 4 years just studying and then apply for jobs later on. Some students are like, I want to be able to apply what I'm learning in the classroom right now to a job. So, and build my resume while I'm studying. Everyone's very, very different. What works best for you?
Thank you. I still have a couple of questions, if you don't mind. My next questions are about the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship. So, do you apply for the scholarship before or after you get an acceptance letter from the university?
So it runs parallel to application to U of T. So when you apply to U of T, you have to start like the OUAC application. You have to submit all of that, no problem. At the same time, your school should nominate one Lester B. Pearson nominee. And then if that nominee had applied to U of T, then that applicant will receive a specific Pearson scholarship application on top of their regular application. So you'll have to complete the regular application plus the Pearson scholarship application, submit both, and then when the university decides, they will let you know whether or not you've received the Pearson scholarship. And that's the same thing with any other entry scholarship we have. All entry scholarships are indicated on your offer letter. So when you are accepted to U of T, it'll actually say, congratulations, you've been accepted to U of T. This is the amount of scholarship you've received, and it'll actually indicate on your letter.
Okay. Is the scholarship restrictive in the sense that if we were to apply for it or even get accepted as a Pearson scholar, would we be required to attend UOT?
No. I mean, obviously we'd want you to, but choice is entirely yours. Okay. Like there was one student I was working with that was a Pearson scholarship recipient for the Faculty of Music, and they're like, sorry, we're not coming. So entirely up to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sage.
No problem.
Awesome, Selin. Wah, pertanyaannya keren ya. Udah siap, kelihatannya dari tadi dia udah nyatet semuanya gitu ya. Thank you so much.
I see Kenneth also has.
Okay. Before Kenneth start to asking questions, I ask the one that is coming in first in the Q&A. So, okay. I think the question is already quite similar. So the question is, I heard you of the offer scholarship for the international applicant. Are there any specific requirement that the university is looking for? So I think the question is quite similar, and I think Sesi already covered this. Jadi buat teman-teman semua yang di sini, mungkin aku mau kasih sedikit tambahan. Jadi buat kalian yang di kelas 12 dan tertarik untuk apply Leicester Deviation Scholarship, tolong segera kontak ke konselor kalian masing-masing untuk konselor sekolah ya maksudnya ya, untuk cek apakah kalian bisa dinominasikan. Karena Sinlui hanya bisa menominasikan satu murid per satu angkatan. Jadi siapa yang terpilih itu tergantung dari sekolah kalian. So you need to contact your counselor at school and ask them and check with them whether you are the one that they choose, gitu ya. Apakah kalian yang terpilih gitu. Okay, so goes to Kenneth. Time is yours. Kenneth kelas berapa ya? 12 ya?
12 juga. So thank you for the chance. My first question is, in the application-based end, for example, we have activities that have no certificates per se. For example, our church or some other social contributions we have made. How are we supposed to include them? And is there a limit to all those certificates and stuff we can include inside the application? That is my first question.
Great question, Kenneth. We actually get that question quite a lot. So as I mentioned during the presentation, U of T is very focused on your academics. So all those extracurriculars that you mentioned will become useful after you get in, when you are applying to internships, volunteer opportunities, jobs, so on and so forth. But at the stage of application, most programs, we will not ask you for that. The only programs that might ask you for it will be programs that require that supplementary application that I mentioned, engineering, Rotman Commerce, computer science, so on and so forth. And even in those cases, they won't ask you to upload those documents. They will put it in the form of a question. So for example, the question might be, how have you contributed to your community? Give us some examples. How have you acted as a leader for your community? What clubs or extracurriculars have you participated in? What kind of skill sets have you worked on or excel in because of certain activities that you do? And you have to like write it out. So that's the only way we will be asking you for that. But for the most part, we are still very focused on your academics. So I would say those are important, but later on.
Okay, continuing that question, are we to be considered for the scholarship, especially the ones with higher values? Are we supposed to like have like, for example, we are supposed to like have a medal in the national science competition or something? Because most of the people I have asked, most of them only get scholarships when they have won like a gold medal or silver medal at least the national level. Hello?
Oh, sorry, you froze a little bit, but I think I caught the gist of your question. So the thing is, each student is different. We can't, there's no cookie cutter way that we're like, oh, you fit this mold, so you will get this scholarship. It doesn't work like that. The majority of scholarships for U of T are all based on merit, meaning the higher your grades, the more competitive you will be, and like in some cases, the higher the value of the scholarship will be. And also it depends on the campus, the faculty, the program you are applying to. Some programs and faculties might have more funding. Some of them might dedicate more money towards like students like that are studying a specific subject in 1 year. So that changes on a year-to-year basis. My suggestion to you is if you are interested in applying to U of T, don't worry too much about trying to fit a mold because it doesn't work like that. We are looking at your academics, whether or not we feel that you would be a really good addition to our student population, and what you bring to the table academically, whether or not you'll be a successful student at U of T. And it's ultimately to encourage you to join our U of T student community, right? So in terms of like, you know, having gold or silver medals, like we almost never look at those. It's more about, especially for the programs that need that supplementary application, it's about the soft skills. Like, how will you impact the student body when you get here? A gold or silver medal might not necessarily reflect that. So just keep that in mind. There's no cookie cutter. Yeah.
So it's more of what we as individuals bring to the table to the UOT student body. Okay,
That's correct.
thank you very much for your answer.
No problem.
Okay, so we got the last questions before we should end this. We only have 7 minutes left. So if I want to learn about renewable energy resources, what campus should I join in? And is it available at University of Toronto? What type of engineering is this materials?
Excellent question. So you have a couple options here. The first one is under our engineering program. So engineering science will have great options there for renewable energies, engineering like related to that, but also I'm going to share my presentation screen again. So this is the International Undergraduate Admissions Bulletin with every single tiny little program that we offer here at the University of Toronto. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see. Orange is our Mississauga campus, all the different programs. Green is all of Scarborough's programs, and then yellow is every single one of St. George's programs here. So as you can see, tons and tons and tons of choice. So when we're taking a look at our sustainability and environmental sciences, you are looking mostly under our, hello, why are you not working here? So you're taking a look at environment and energy, where we'll be asking for math and chemistry in your final year of high school. Environmental sciences, we have forest conservation sciences, but also if you look at our physical and environmental sciences here at Scarborough, we also have natural sciences and environmental management. We have environmental science overall. We have environmental geosciences. We also have at Mississauga, let's see, where is my sciences? Environmental sciences here, geosciences, and overall sciences. So there's also a sustainability management here under chemical and physical sciences at Mississauga. So all of these are great options, apply to all three campuses, and you might even get considered for all three. So again, tons and tons of choice.
Okay, awesome. So buat teman-teman semuanya, itu semua pertanyaannya keren-keren. Jadi terima kasih untuk semua partisipasinya. Kami di sini dari Universal selalu bersedia untuk membantu kalian dalam hal pendaftaran. Jadi jangan khawatir. Jadi kalau tadi kalian ingin bertanya lebih lanjut gimana cara mendaftarnya, bagaimana caranya untuk apply, apakah bisa dibantu, silahkan feel free to contact us di Universal. Aku sharekan kontak universalnya ke kalian supaya bisa di screenshot. Jadi feel free. Nanti di bulan Oktober akan ada sesi dengan University of Toronto for kalian yang ingin diundang di sesi University of Toronto di bulan Oktober. Jangan lupa untuk mengisi link yang tadi kami sudah berikan. Jadi kalian bisa kontak ke kami untuk nanti kami bisa invite kalian di acara University of Toronto di bulan Oktober. Nanti akan ada sesi dari student juga, akan ada sesi dari parents juga, jadi kalian bisa dapat infonya lebih lengkap. Okay? If it is too much for you to handle, it's okay. Just asking us later on. We will get back to you and share with you again one by one. Terus scholarship di University of Toronto juga kita ada beberapa students, kapan lalu ada anak seni yang dapat juga. Jadi selain laser Peterson, kita juga ada, maksudnya ada anak-anak yang bisa dapat scholarship juga, kayak sampai 100.000 untuk 4 tahun. Itu juga keren banget. Sudah ada anak seni yang dapat. Jadi who knows, it might be you the next one, right? Jadi silahkan disiapkan untuk aplikasinya. Jangan lupa untuk kontak kami di Universal. We will certainly help you with everything. Okay. Last messages before we end this. We only have 2 minutes left.
Please remember to fill out the form, put in the chat.
Okay. Jadi jangan lupa ya untuk itu semua formnya diisi, dan jangan lupa itu juga sudah di-share untuk kalau saya bilang Bible-nya UOP. Jadi itu semua list mata pelajaran yang kalian bisa pilih di UOP. Jadi jangan lupa untuk kalian cek itu. Oke? Thank you so much everyone. Stay safe and healthy. Saya kembalikan ke Pak Marcel. Thank you, Pak.
Terima kasih banyak.
Okay, I would like to say thank you to Miss Sage. It is a very interesting chat with you. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining the third session. So I hope you have written a lot of notes and yeah, for further plans. So thank you again, Miss Sage, and have a great day. I mean, have a great night.
Thank
Okay,
you so much.
Soalnya Pak, kita masih lanjut nih. Oh
Yes.
ya, buat teman-teman tadi yang sudah mengajukan pertanyaan, nanti dari tim kami dari Test Coach by Embassy akan menghubungi kalian untuk voucher yang akan diberikan. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.